Genesis 31 through 35, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Jacob fled from Laban. Jacob wrestled an angel, renamed Israel. Jacob and Esau reunited. Story of Dinah. Rachel died. Isaac died. This is Laban. Laban is a big deal in Genesis 31. Laban was the brother to Rebekah, Isaac's wife. Brother, sister. That makes Laban the uncle to Jacob. Laban is also the father to Rachel and Leah. Rachel and Leah both married Jacob. That makes Laban the father-in-law to Jacob twice. So, Jacob married two of his cousins who are sisters. There's a lot of stuff like that in Genesis. It's kind of weird. In Genesis 31, Jacob and his father-in-law / uncle / father-in-law, Jacob and Laban got into this feud over sheep. Jacob had worked for Laban for at least 14 years. Jacob was being clever and trying to increase his wealth along the way. But Jacob and Laban ended up at odds, so Jacob ends up fleeing from Laban. It's interesting, in Genesis 28, Jacob was fleeing north away from his brother Esau. Up north, he met Laban. In Genesis 31, Jacob fled south from Laban, but in the south, there was Esau. Dun dun dun! Uh-oh. In Genesis 32, Jacob wrestled this angel of God. This chapter is tucked away back there, but don't forget it. The angel wrestling match is a big deal. They wrestled through the night, and Jacob refused to let go at daybreak. Jacob demanded that God bless him. Esau gave away the inheritance for a bowl of soup in Genesis 25, but Jacob struggled with all his might for a blessing from God. Stark contrast. The angel blessed Jacob and renamed him Israel. That is where the name Israel came from. In Genesis 33, oh no, Esau epically confronted Jacob. Now what? Jacob was super humble towards Esau, and Esau ended up being pretty nice. The end. Genesis 34. This is Dinah. She was Jacob's daughter. She looked like her grandma Sarah. Dinah had 11 brothers at this point, and this guy Shechem defiled Dinah. It sounds a little like it was a mutual consent situation, nothing violent, but Dinah's brothers were furious. They ended up going on this rampage, killing Shechem and all his dudes. Pretty wild. That's your fam though, right, Jacob? Okay. In Genesis 35, Jacob buried a bunch of idols. God again said Jacob's name is Israel. Rachel had a second son, Benjamin. Rachel died, Isaac died. Genesis 35. Let's reinforce what you have learned from the Bible Recall Memory Palace. In which chapter did Esau and Jacob reunite? Genesis 33, Jacob and Esau reunite. Good. Always take a guess, even if you know you don't know. This stuff really works. In which chapter is the story of Dinah? Genesis 34, the story of Dinah. In which chapter did Jacob wrestle an angel? Genesis 32. Do not forget that wrestling match. Jacob became Israel. In which chapter did Rachel die? Genesis 35. Also, Isaac died, and there was an epic burial of these idols. You really have to read it. In which chapter did Jacob flee from Laban? Genesis 31. Jacob fled from Laban. Great work. If you and your friends memorize every chapter of the Bible together, then together we can change the world. Amen.